Internet. I am Insane Lane, as well as a Canadian girl, and we have something a little different today. For one, we're on the water. For two, this is a channel that I need to watch more of. And we have Cop thinks he. Okay, there needed to be an S there. Cop thinks he get away with traumatizing a family and wrongful arrest, but he didn't. So we kind of know the outcome here, but I haven't seen this all the way through. I'm glad they're blurring out the children. That is good. But let's see what happens, because the rules are different with boats to a car, but same principles apply. So I'm wondering what somebody is getting wrongfully arrested for.
How badly I wish I didn't have to do this in front of your kids right now. But I do
so.
not have an option, brother.
Yeah,
I'm an impairment task force member, so I've done
Okay.
a lot of these.
When you're wrong with this, as you are, what happens?
I haven't been
Do
yet,
you get in trouble?
but so if I was wrong,
For you to be
his
wrong.
charges will be
You've
dropped.
never been wrong?
Sir,
Yeah, and do you know what? You're gonna
Sir.
get in deep.
Sir, so let me tell
Well,
you something.
probably not, but that's okay.
Sir, I'm an elder at the church right down the street at Jupiter. I'm with my 3 children right now. I've never been arrested in my life. This is crazy, man.
Right.
I run a Christian private equity company, and you said your body cameras were on.
It's been on the entire time. Yes, sir.
Okay, so what is he being arrested for?
And with this assistance in front of my kids.
Like, given that the guy said he's an impairment officer, I'm gonna say he's accused this guy of being impaired.
Welcome back to the Donnie Rapture channel. In today's body cam video, we will be following along with Florida Fish and Wildlife Officer
Oh,
Dylan,
Florida.
a so-called impairment task force officer, as he
Yeah,
arrests a
what
completely
is that?
sober and drug-free man for boating under the influence. What Officer Stiltner didn't know at the time was just how connected, trusted, and beloved this man was by many high-ranking officials, such as Ron DeSantis and Jeb Bush. This video serves as
What?
a great example as to why I personally believe the seated field sobriety tests are a joke, and how good people end up arrested, handcuffed, in front of their own friends and family because of poor training and abuse of power. Now I gotta say, there are plenty of great FWC officers. Officer Stiltner is not one of them. On August 21st, 2024, while on water-based patrol, FWC officers Stiltner and Gilmore observed a vessel speeding in a slow wake zone. The video picks up as officers instruct the operator to come to a stop.
Hey, you're gonna have to trim your motors up and go slow. Watch out.
Okay, so the cop is saying the initial reason to pull them over is they're speeding in a no-wake zone. That's a completely legitimate reason. You need to be aware of where your no-wake zones are, where the slow zones are, how close you can get to a swim area. And understandably, though, out in the middle of a lake, it can be hard. But you need to know where you are and what you're allowed and not allowed to do.
Okay, just pull up in here where you get better water. He's not
Yeah.
paying attention to where he's going. He almost ran into that shoal sign. He put
What?
the vessel in reverse when I told him to put it in neutral. He's all over the place.
Okay, I'm disagreeing with this cop already because I didn't see them almost hit anything, and he's driving in a perfectly straight line. He's not all over the place. You're already making things up.
Maybe. Real quick, while we got you there, do you have a life jacket for every person on board besides the little ones?
Yes, I do.
You mind showing that to me real quick?
No problem, officer.
Okay. And then do you have a Type 4 throwable?
What is that?
Like a square cushion or a throw ring? You guys go to the island today?
No, we just went straight to the little place across from that development right there.
That's the one. Cool. Yep.
And then what else do you need around you?
Fire extinguisher, sound producing device. You never seen a police on a boat before?
No. Probably don't have a fire extinguisher.
Okay.
But I could get one today.
And do you have a bell horn or a whistle on the boat? Turn into his stern.
What's a bell?
Sorry?
What's a bell horn?
A bell horn
bell
or a
horn.
whistle?
What is a bell horn?
Separate words.
Bell, comma, horn.
Or
a whistle.
got it.
That'll do it.
That
And
works.
How much have you had to drink today?
Zero.
Zero? Okay. Because you're kind of...
I'm not sure why his eyes are intermittently being blanked out. That,
is it your first time?
like, the black bars across the eyes, that must be, like, automatic on the body cam. Yay for having the kids in life jackets, because they should be in life jackets anytime they're on the boat. But this guy is not acting impaired to me at all. He did say they don't have a fire extinguisher, which is a problem Pretty sure that's just a ticket, but it might get you pulled off the water for the day because that is a very important piece of safety equipment because a fire on a boat can be devastating very quickly and fatal very quickly. So, yeah, fire extinguisher, very important to have. But he did say, we can go get one today, which should have already had it, but at least he's like, okay, we'll get it taken care of. Yay for that, but probably still gonna get you a ticket, which kind of deserve.
Time on the boat?
No, yeah, I'm not typically on boats, to be honest with you.
No, okay. All right. I kind of want to check out your eyes just to make sure you're okay to operate because you've kind of given me some weird things here. So, do you mind me taking
I
a
don't
look at
think
your
he
eyes
is.
real quick?
Take a look at my
All right. Do me a favor. Just throw on that life jacket right there, and I'll just have you come over here for me real quick.
You're gonna find this whole
Like,
place.
I'm not sure I
Yeah.
would be going along with this cop if I'm this guy, but I have a feeling he just doesn't know any better.
You want to do it? Can't reach.
No, I kind of need you to do it. This
Are you
horse
rolling
car right
right now?
here. Oh, yeah.
Can you roll?
Yeah, I am.
It is rolling,
And your officer name?
so he doesn't know how to
Badge number?
put this
That's
kind of
ACB
life jacket
document.
on.
All right, just take a seat right here for me.
Okay, so let's recap really fast, because this is actually insane. The safety inspection is essentially a preliminary field sobriety test. And covertly, officers are looking for signs of impairment, which are normally things like bloodshot eyes, stumbling, slurring words, and empty cans, and the smell of intoxicants. But
Yeah,
none of those were factors for this officer. No.
There's a good point. Officer, do you see any alcohol on the boat? Now, I'm not saying they couldn't have, stopped for lunch somewhere and this guy had 6 beers, and so there wouldn't be alcohol on the boat, but do you smell alcohol? Are there empty beer cans or an empty wine bottle? Something? Anything? No? Nothing?
This officer used the following to start his BUI investigation. According to the report, the man pulled out 10 to 12 life jackets when instructed to only show life jackets for the adults. The officer observed fidgety fingers when opening the life jacket bag. When asked to show the officer the gauge of the fire extinguisher, the man foolishly handed it to him.
Oh, they do have a fire extinguisher.
Not facing the officer. The officer wrote up in a paragraph on how the man thought he said bell horn, when it's completely understandable because the officer said it like this.
Do you have a bell horn or a whistle on the boat?
And lastly, the officer claimed that the man had difficulty putting the life jacket on, stating that he put it on upside down first and requested assistance to strap
Actually,
it from
put it
behind.
on backwards.
These are the lamest clues of impairment I've ever encountered in a BUI investigation, and we're just getting started.
Just keep your head still and just look at my top of my finger here with your eyes and your eyes on.
Okay, I agree with what was just said. Saying, oh, he handed you a fire extinguisher the wrong way, a fire extinguisher that this guy didn't know was on his boat, which, again, he should know where that is. He should absolutely know where that is, but they do have one. The other thing is, I'm wondering, is this their actual boat or is it rented? Because if it's rented, then it makes sense you're not going to know where all the safety stuff is, even though you should ask. On a rental boat, you should definitely ask and be shown where all the safety stuff is. As for, he showed me too many life jackets. What the hell is wrong with you? That is utterly ridiculous. And as for him not understanding that you were saying bell, horn, or a whistle, you weren't saying it abundantly clearly. And the guy said he's not on the water much, so he's not used to this. This is his first time ever doing this or asking these questions. So yeah. Man, the look on this guy's face, he should be taking this a little more seriously, but I get that he knows he's sober, so he's kind of taking the cop as a joke, which, not going to begrudge him.
Okay.
Unfortunately, officers don't record the nystagmus test, but in his report, the officer claimed that he had lack of smooth pursuit in the left and right eye, distinct sustained nystagmus and max deviation, and onset.
And I have no
prior
proof
to a
of that.
45-degree angle. But we have absolutely no way of verifying the officer's claims. And until officers start putting cameras in their little pens, I'll never accept them as evidence.
I'll never accept any field sobriety tests as evidence because they're not. They're utterly ridiculous. On a boat, all the more so.
2 more minutes?
Yep, just give me some time, brother.
I'm with
And
all my kids right now.
seriously, why are they not required to record the nystagmus thing that they claim they're able to do? Which, by the way, there's a billion ways for cops to make you fail that test. It's literally impossible to pass some field sobriety tests, and the follow my pen one is one of them. Because naturally, the second something moves out of your line of sight, your eyes are going to go to it. That's just instinct. And they will deliberately move it out of your sight or around too far on your peripheral vision to make you move your eyes, and then they can say that you failed, even if you're completely sober. Never ever agree to do field sobriety tests. They are nothing but a trap. And they are impossible to pass. And this cop's already decided. We can hear it in what he's saying to the other officers. He's already decided that he thinks this guy is drunk. So he's doing this just so he can say that he did and to get proof against this guy, but he's not even recording what he's doing. So how is an officer able to write down, oh, according to me, this person failed this, this, and this, and even though I'm wearing a body cam, I didn't actually film me doing the test so that anyone could see me doing it and see that I did it properly. Not that, again, there is a properly, but the way they're supposed to do it, and that the guy actually did fail it. So all we have is the officer's word, and I'm sorry, anybody's word, cop, judge, lawyer, don't care. When all you have is one person's word, you have nothing. And don't come back at me with the, well, they're sworn members of law enforcement, so their word is like incorruptible and they're totally credible. Yeah, BS. How many cops have been caught lying on the stand? And we know that this cop is lying. So, don't give me the, just because somebody's in law enforcement or they're a judge or whatever, that their word is like unimpeachable. No, not how that works. And again, this is why I never take anybody's word for anything.
I understand. That's why we're doing what we're doing, brother.
You don't smell alcohol in my breath. There's not 1 ounce of alcohol on the boat.
Alcohol is not the only thing that causes nystagmus.
Okay, so now you're making stuff up.
Drugs. All right.
Like, I think this guy knows at this point that he's dealing with an asshole cop.
Sit back down. I got a few more tasks here for you if you're willing to cooperate with that.
I'm not willing to cooperate. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't be either. I'd be like, shove it, dude.
One more task with you.
You are being ridiculous.
There are standardized field sobriety tasks that are going to help me determine your level of impairment.
My level of impairment.
Because the officer's already said,
what reason did you see that
like, he no longer thinks the guy is drunk.
One reason.
Yeah,
now he's thinking he's on drugs. Like,
with
he's
your
just
fingers
trying
to
to
get
make
those
something up.
zippers open on your bag.
So
when I told you
what?
to show me the gauge for the fire extinguisher, you weren't able to turn it to me without knowing. I had to.
Yeah,
ask
like
you
this
again to
guy's
turn
like,
it towards
okay,
me.
I'm
I
dealing
asked
with
you
an
multiple
idiot.
times for a bell, horn, or whistle. I said bell, horn, or whistle, and then you said, "What's a bell horn?" And I said, "A bell, horn, or whistle." And you again said,
this guy's
"What's a
well
bell
aware
horn?"
he's dealing
And I
with an
said,
idiot
bell,
right now.
comma, horn, or whistle. Again, a few things that are a little bit off. Plus, you're having nystagmus with your eyes. So I just want to
I
make
don't
sure
think
that
he
you're okay
is.
to drive. Okay?
Great.
All right. All right. So what I'm gonna have you do here for me? Just sit at the front of your seat, kind of like you're doing, feet shoulder width apart, so you're comfortable and stable. Are you stable where
Okay.
you're sitting right now?
When did he agree to do this shit?
Okay, that's fine,
Because
as long as you're not falling back or anything weird like
he
that. Okay.
said he
We are
refused
about
to do the
watch
test.
seated field
So
sobriety tasks, which are a test of one's cognitive abilities, not balance. And they're a trap. Never, ever, ever take them. And I want to let you guys in on a little secret. Not only is this man 100% sober and drug-free, he's incredibly successful and smart. Like, there's an article about him in Forbes magazine. I googled him. This guy's the real deal. So let's see how a smart, sober, and drug-free man does on this little test. Oh, and throughout the test, I'll be throwing up all the clues of impairment Officer Stiltner claimed to have observed during the test.
You're gonna make a fist with both hands. Extend your index finger.
this is
Palms
becoming
forward
one
like
of
that.
my favorite
Remain in this
channels.
position while I explain the task. Do you understand that?
Yes.
When I say begin, you're gonna tilt your head back to a 45-degree angle. Okay. You're gonna close
That
your
would
eyes.
make me dizzy.
I'm not. Okay. When I tell you to, you're gonna touch the tip of your nose with the tip of your finger and return it immediately.
Okay, so you're supposed to go like
I'm not paying attention. Hold on.
like
So
this.
Go like this.
Like,
you're gonna go back 45
so-
degrees.
Yeah, stated he was not paying attention. How are you? And where are we judging 45 degrees? Like, is
You're
that
gonna
all the
close
way
your eyes.
back?
Okay.
Okay. So,
Okay.
all right.
I'm gonna close my eyes.
No, not yet. Listen to
Not-
the directions, okay? When I say begin, you're going to
Give clear
tilt your head back to a
directions.
45-degree angle and close your eyes, okay? It's going to look like this, all right?
Okay.
That's a 45-degree angle,
Okay.
and then you're going to close
Are-
your eyes.
do you have a
okay? When I tell
protractor,
you
or
you're
you're
gonna
going
touch
to
the tip
measure?
of your nose with the tip of your index finger
Got it.
and immediately return it back down to your side, okay?
Yeah.
So look, tip of
Okay,
your
so
nose, okay?
head back,
your index
eyes
finger.
closed.
Nope. Stay in that
Doing
position.
this.
You're gonna touch the tip of your nose with the tip of your finger.
Okay, I'm
and
sitting in a
immediately
chair.
return it back down to your side, okay? When I say the tip of your nose,
But
I mean the
again,
very
like
tip,
this is not
dime-sized portion on the very tip of your
proof
nose,
of
okay?
anything.
I'm not gonna touch the side. Yep.
Not the bridge, not the side, not underneath, okay?
I got it.
Look at me. When I say the tip of your finger, the very dime-sized portion underneath the fingernail, okay? Not the sides, not the pad of your finger.
Yeah, but you want the tippy top of the finger on the tippy
Tip of
top.
the
Okay,
finger to the
I'm
tip of the
sorry,
nose and return it
officer.
back
You're being
down.
a dick
Do you
at this
understand?
point. Like,
Okay.
I've never heard a
Go
cop.
ahead and begin for me.
I have never ever heard a cop specify so much that he's looking for like a half centimeter. The very tip of your finger is the only part that can touch your nose. So I can't go like this. I was doing it wrong. See, I would have failed. I'm sitting here and I would have failed. Why? Because I was doing this. Because I'm putting the pad of my finger on the tip of my nose. But no, he wants the very tippy top just under your nail. That has to be like this. So he wants this and only this, not this or this. Just directly this. This is why these tests are atrocious and a joke. But this guy should not be doing it, but he's probably a nice guy who like thinks he can't get in trouble for because he's not doing anything wrong, so he thinks he's not going to get in trouble. He needs to realize this cop has already decided he's going to arrest this guy. The only reason the cop is doing these tests is to cover his butt and make it look like he had a reason to arrest the guy, because he can be like, oh, he failed the test. You failed the test. Well, that's because they're impossible, and because pass fail is based entirely on the officer's judgment, because there is no objective standard, because these are not scientific tests. They are jokes. They literally were derived out of hypnotism and mentalism, and some of them can actually cause an altered state. So, like, they're self-defeating.
Which one do you want?
Tilt your head back to a 45-degree angle and close your eyes. All right, left.
He's claiming the guy didn't close his eyes.
Right.
Didn't use tip of the finger. See, because he's doing what I did. Because that's what you would naturally do.
Keep your eyes closed. Yep.
Okay, he did what you asked
Left.
and then opened his eyes. You didn't say, like...
Remember to maintain that 45-degree angle. Yep, that's good.
That's 45.
Yep, right.
Yeah. See, this guy knows this is a joke.
Right. And left.
But he shouldn't be doing it.
All right, so next I'm going to have you do is palm pat, okay?
So
You're
the
gonna
cop
place
is
your hands
claiming
palm
this
to
guy
palm.
failed, like,
This is the last one else.
on a 12
Say
point.
Is this the last one?
I got two more. This one and the next one.
And then what happens after this if I'm golden and cleared?
Say again?
After I do this, if I'm golden and cleared, do I get to go home?
Yeah, if you're good to go, then you get to go. Okay.
What happens if people deny this?
Say again?
What happens if people deny
I have to advise them of their Taylor warning, which says I have to make my arrest decision based off the indicators that I've seen so far, and any declining to do the SFSTs can be held against you in court. Place your hands palm to palm.
Yeah,
Nope,
the fact
stay
that
in that
declining
good
the
stable
test can
position.
be held
There
against you
go.
or result in
I'm gonna have
extra
you place your hands
charges is
palm to palm with one hand up,
ridiculous.
one hand down. It's going to look like that. Okay?
Because
Remain
if
in
you
this
have the
position
right to
while I explain the
refuse,
task.
then
Do
you
you
should
understand?
not have to face
When I tell you to
consequences
begin, you're
for
going to turn the top
refusing.
hand over and count out loud one, then turn the hand back over and count out loud two.
Like,
counting
that
only
kind of
when the
says
hands
you
make
don't have
contact.
the right
One,
to refuse.
Two, one, two, one,
I
two.
can't even see what
You're
he's
going to
doing.
repeat this. Speed up as you go.
Is he
and do not
just
stop until
doing
told.
like this?
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
'Cause I can do that.
1, 2, 1,
I'm probably doing it wrong.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. How long you going? 1,
Keep going.
2,
Speed
1,
up.
2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
What do you think, Chopped? Like he's doing this?
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I need some water. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1,
Okay, you
2.
can stop.
Okay,
Officer
so the
Stover,
officer
report
apparently
official log.
lied in the report, saying that
Correct.
he
Yes,
messed
ma'am.
up
Stay
counting,
please.
which he didn't, and he
Also,
didn't
I'm gonna have you
speed
do
up
for
when
me
told to,
is
which
you're
he
gonna go ahead
did.
and make a fist with both hands. Place your left fist at the center of your chest and your right fist against your left fist. Okay. It's gonna
Like
look
this?
Remain in this position while I explain the task. Do you understand?
Is he
When
saying
I say
this?
begin, you're going to perform four
Because I don't
tasks,
understand.
Okay. The first task is to count out loud from 1 to 4 while you move your fist in a step-like fashion, making contact.
Yeah, this guy
Your
can't
fist
even keep a
between
straight
each
face
step.
because
It's
what
gonna
he's
look
being
like
asked to
this,
do is
okay?
so ridiculous.
1, 2.
Okay, so yeah, it is
3,
like it is
4,
like
okay?
this.
Put your left
Nobody
fist
said
against your
left
chest.
against your chest.
Yep, stay right
Let's
there.
left.
Don't move. Keep your feet where.
Yeah,
Second task is
right.
to memorize the position of your fist after you've counted to 4. Clap your hands 3 times and return your fist to the memorized
Are
position.
you
Okay?
kidding
So you'll
me?
be here.
I couldn't do
3
this.
times, back to the memorized position. Okay?
Hold on.
Okay, count out loud, reverse order. 5, 6, 7, 8, returning your left fist to your chest. Finish.
This is like a
palm down in
12-step
your
thing
lap.
he's saying.
Okay?
1, 2.
I couldn't even remember all that.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Yet I'm completely sober
Dr.
right
I'm gonna
now.
need you to stand up for me.
And
Sit
I
down.
did not understand what he
Yeah,
was
put that one
saying,
down.
and I could
Turn around
not
for me.
remember all those steps
Put your
in
hands
a
behind your back.
row.
You're under arrest. Putting under the influence. Okay?
Dude, I've not had a single thing.
Well,
Now the kids are upset.
So that, my friends, is an example of a sober man failing the seated field sobriety test, administered by an
Which
officer
I've
claiming to
never
have done this hundreds of
heard of.
times, and is an
The
impairment
nystagmus
task force
test I've heard of,
officer who has never made a mistake once.
but never
And not
the
only is this
rest.
poor man about to be arrested for the first time in his life, it's about to happen in front of his pregnant wife and children. Oh,
Oh,
and
great.
his friend, whose wife is also pregnant, and their little children, who were all just building sandcastles minutes before this all happened.
Dude,
literally haven't had a single
Yeah.
Do not move.
Okay, people on the boat, I have news for you. You're dealing with an idiot cop. You're dealing with someone who decided before he even pulled you over that he was going to arrest someone because he felt like it. So he manufactured a reason to pull somebody over. He made up a bunch of bullshit saying the guy was acting impaired when he very much was not. And then literally demanded that he do the test after the guy refused. That is an important point because the guy did say he was refusing. I didn't hear him change his mind on that. I heard the cop just continuing to do the test anyway and basically make it seem like this guy had no choice but to do it. Because it wasn't until after he'd done another couple of things that the guy, fair question, asked, like, what happens if somebody just doesn't do that? Just doesn't do these stupid tests because they are stupid. They're ridiculous. But the fact that you can have extra charges or it can count against you in court if you refuse to do tests that are designed to do nothing but force you to give evidence against yourself and are impossible to pass, that is wrong on so many levels. And I'm very surprised that has not been challenged at a high level of the American court system, because that seems just completely wrong on so many levels and like absolutely violating somebody's rights, because you have the right to not incriminate yourself. And if you can refuse to do these tests, then again, there shouldn't be consequences for refusing. If you have the right to refuse, then you have the right to refuse, and that's it. You don't get to punish someone for refusing or for exercising their right. I do hope this ends with this cop being fired.
not a single cent.
No drugs.
I don't touch anything. Google me. I don't touch anything.
Okay, listen, brother, you're showing extreme signs of
I'm
impairment.
nervous.
No, he's not.
I'm nervous
Listen.
as heck. I have all my kids.
Like, this
Okay,
cop is
that has nothing
wrong.
to do with your
He's
eyes,
just
okay?
lying and
Eyes,
making things up.
breathalyze me. Do anything. Check
We will.
everything in there.
All right, listen.
Oh,
We're
we
going to give you an
will.
opportunity to provide a breath sample,
Great.
okay?
I will gladly do it.
You won't be.
Yeah, but it's going to be at the police station because, God forbid, American police actually carry a breathalyzer. By the way, America, you are the only first world country where you don't have roadside breathalyzers and drug test kits. Other countries have had this for over a decade, making all this bullshit completely unnecessary. You're like the only country left that does these stupid field sobriety tests and trusts a cop's judgment as to whether someone's impaired instead of actually employing science, which a breathalyzer and a drug test kit, that's science. That's real evidence. That's proof. But I think they would lose something like half their arrests a year, which probably equals a lot of money, and that's probably why they don't do it, if I'm being very, very honest and very, very cynical. But tell me that I'm wrong. Like, what is the problem with every cop having a roadside breathalyzer? Why has that not happened? It would cut down on a lot of BS and a lot of time.
Be able to do that until you get to the jail, okay?
Yep. And what are all my options right now?
So when we get to the jail,
Well, you're under
discuss
arrest,
the
so
rest
you
of
have
those
none.
options, okay? Right now, you have no options. Your options are you're going to go to the jail.
Okay. For
Voting under the influence while normal faculties are impaired.
okay,
He's
what
not
normal faculties
impaired.
Did I just pass or fail?
All of the things that I just did. So all of those tasks, your nystagmus in your eyes, the pre-indicators that I saw in your vessel that we already
Didn't I
discussed.
just pass all those tests?
Oh, pre-indicators. There's a phrase.
I haven't been yet, but so if I was
You've
wrong,
never been
his
wrong.
charges will be dropped. Yeah.
Sir, so
Yeah,
let,
and do you know what? You're gonna
Sir.
get in deep as shit.
sir, so let me tell
Well,
you.
probably not, but that's okay.
Sir,
Yep.
so
Okay, what the cop just said there is very telling, because she's saying you are wrong, and she's saying, like, I'm going to complain, I'm going to get you in trouble because you're completely out of line, and she is right. But the cop just said, he said he's never been wrong, which anyone who says that, I'm already done listening to you. But he basically said that, if I'm wrong, the charges will be dropped. And when she's like, what'll happen to you for being wrong? He basically said nothing. Because again, that's a thing. Like, they know, cops know their department, the union, they will be protected no matter what they do, no matter how wrong they are. And again, that's a huge part of the problem when you give people like nearly unlimited authority, and then you make it very well known that if they abuse that, not if, but when they abuse that authority and they make mistakes, they're not going to face any consequences. So there's no real incentive to like not be corrupt, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying this rises to like the level of corruption. This is just an idiot cop being wrong, but his attitude tells you a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if he's made many false arrests.
His counsel.
Okay.
Okay. If you reach out to the chief in Jupiter and you tell him you're with me, we were with him last night. He's Dan and Shay that's doing the concert tomorrow night. You could search.
Okay,
me,
so
you
this
search the
guy's
house, you search everything.
extremely
I'm over
connected.
at the church right down the street at Jupiter, at Family Church where his bus is parked right now. I'm with my 3 children right now.
Bro, listen to me. You know how badly I wish I didn't have to do this in front of your kids right now?
I don't.
Yeah,
I do
you
not
could
have an
not
option,
do
brother.
this because
Trust
you're
me.
making it up.
Okay. Well, you don't know anything about me. First of all, I am doing my job. You guys are blowing through a manatee zone, okay, which is a slow speed zone with your kids on the boat. If you'd have hit that sandbar at full, you could have launched all 3 of your kids out of the front of the boat.
Okay, so now you're
Which is why
making
we
more
do what
stuff
we do.
up.
Yeah,
So
but
it
you're
wasn't
saying that
like you
under
weren't
the
doing
influence.
anything at all.
You're saying
Correct.
I'm under the influence.
Based off of the interaction with you that I'm having right now, your normal faculties are impaired.
You're with
No,
this
they're
guy
not.
with his 3 kids, and his friends are in town for one night. And the day that they're here, I'm trying to show them out. I'm trying to take them a good time. He's not drinking. I'm not drinking. None of us are under the influence. And I mean, it's ridiculous.
Hey.
Man, I live 10 houses away from you.
It's not a discussion.
So you said you have not been wrong yet, right?
Excuse
Well,
me.
you're
You
wrong
said
today.
You have not been wrong yet.
Not yet, luckily.
No, congratulations. You're super wrong.
I hope so, brother.
Dude, you are. Like there's
I
nothing.
hope so, but
like,
listen.
What do you
Like,
look
this
at
is
me.
a cop
You
who
think
is just
I'm
standing
someone
on his
to be
ego at this
what?
moment.
On what sort of thing do you think I'm
I
gonna
don't
be
know you, brother. I don't know you.
Don't call me brother because you're not my brother.
Okay.
You're my brother. You would understand. I am for you. I am with you. I'm for everybody. Like I've never been arrested in my life. This is crazy, man.
Right.
I run a Christian private equity company and I serve on the state of Florida, for crying out loud. This is crazy. I'm in my church. Like I'm the furthest thing from this, and you're arresting me for no reason.
Yeah,
I hope that that's the case. I know what else to tell you, but you're.
I think the cop is starting to doubt himself here.
My job.
You're not. And you said your body cameras were on the whole
It's been on the entire time. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're
Here's
not
the
doing
deal.
your job right
Okay?
now.
Nothing that we went over is pass or fail. You either do well or you don't. You either show the amount of indicators that the state of California and San Francisco University
Oh,
have
we're in
determined.
California.
it
Okay, not
determines
Florida.
We can
impairment.
start there.
Okay.
We can
Didn't
start
it- wait,
there.
didn't
You're
it
more
say
than
we're in
welcome to
Florida?
petition the
but I'm
United
saying-
States.
I'm
These
saying
are
if
these
you
are
think California
national.
is correct.
Yeah, these are
I
national
get it.
standardized field sobriety
No,
tests,
they're
okay?
not.
I
I've
didn't-
never heard of
nothing-
that. Okay, one, we are in Florida because it said Florida Fish and Wildlife, so we're definitely in Florida. But then the cop just cited California. You're not in California. And as for there being nationally standard field sobriety tests, I need proof of that because I've never heard of that. I've actually heard quite the contrary, that every state makes up their own version of this crap. So I don't think there is any like federalized national field sobriety test. I think the cop is entirely making that up. But I think he's starting to realize that he has screwed up, and so he's trying very hard to cover his ass right now by, again, making up a load of crap.
Everything that I did here, none of this is made up off
Yeah,
the
but
top
you
of my
look at
head.
me.
Okay.
No, it is made up.
But
You know it.
But I wouldn't. Well, I'm sorry. I'll stop calling you brother. I wouldn't have even asked you on my boat if I didn't think something weird was going on.
I was
Okay?
nervous, man.
Yeah,
I'm
you
super
made
nervous.
that
That's
up.
why I asked.
You
Yeah, that's
decided
why I
before
asked.
you
Yeah,
got there that
yeah.
something
And
was
my
going
pride
on.
don't want to admit it. What's the easiest way to just have my attorney show up?
Yep.
Is that typically what's the
Yep.
easiest way?
There is none of that.
Call
You're gonna
a
have an
lawyer.
8-hour hold, like I said.
Oh, here's some water.
At this time, he's not going to be able to do that. He'll get water at the jail. Actually, is this the same water that he just opened? Okay. No, where's the water that he just opened? Give me a brand new water. It needs to crack. There you go, bro.
Hate injustice, and what this just did in front of my kids.
Yeah, and they're really going to hold this guy for 8 hours for absolutely no reason
Obviously, zero
whatsoever.
alcohol. That means I'm 100% picture perfect.
Like, I hope he sues this department. I really do.
My 3 kids.
Because I think he'd win in about a second.
Listen, I've already.
Yeah, no. I know what you're saying. Like, I will make it my life's mission for justice to be served.
Yeah,
100%.
Okay.
I just
I
know
would
that.
very much
You know,
be
that's what I've
saying,
dedicated
like, this
my
cop
life to
has to
that.
go.
But no, but you're doing injustice right now.
Well, I hope that that's true. If that's true, then I made a mistake, and
Correct. Yeah.
and then those charges will be dropped. But right now, I have to go based off of my experience and training, which says otherwise. Do you understand that?
No, I don't agree at all. Because
You don't have to agree. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You were looking for
Yeah.
a reason to show your power
Yep.
on your boat
Uh-huh.
and in front of others.
100%.
This is the last thing that I want to do.
I don't
Yeah,
believe-
BS.
I don't
This
Promise
guy's got
it's
him.
the last thing I want to do.
He's got this cop's
I
number
don't
and he's
believe
We
right.
came out here to work fish cases.
Then why are you pulling over a boat?
Ron, you bring it over.
Towing us to our house, and
Tell them the boat's right next to me.
the boat's right next to me, and you're on speakerphone. But Mike is handcuffed in Florida Fish and Wildlife Boat.
Hey, coach, you there? Hey, coach, I'm literally in handcuffs, like Jesus, being persecuted for completely nothing wrong. You're saying that I'm under the influence. Obviously, I don't do drugs. I did not touch an ounce of alcohol. We took our kids to let them build sandcastles.
I hope
spoke
this
to
is a
John
lawyer.
Maxwell on the boat for a little bit, and now we just went home, and I'm in handcuffs. Right in front of me. And I keep asking, how in the world am I being arrested for being under the influence? Like, give me a breathalyzer, search my boat, search everything. And they said that I was fidgety, that my eyes, that it's not that I didn't pass or fail the test, it's at their discretion, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's another thing. The cop also admitted that there is no pass-fail to the test. It is purely down to the cop's judgment. And as we see here, they can make up whatever response they want. This guy is dead sober, and he did, like, if you're being honest, he missed his nose a couple times. He had, like, you know, this thing, whatever the hell that was, he probably screwed up. But so would I. And so did I. I did this wrong, according to this cop. Like, that's why it's utterly absurd. I really hope this guy's talking to a lawyer.
Stiltner.
Stiltner,
Ask him I should call Governor Jeb Bush or Ron
should
DeSantis.
he call
Put it
Governor
in reverse
Bush
for me.
or
We'll just anchor them
Ron
here. I guess
DeSantis?
they're gonna have somebody come out and get them. Okay.
Okay, these are
I
people
don't
that
have any more
literally
time
have
to waste doing
Bush
this.
and
So if
DeSantis
your
on, like,
friend's gonna
speed
come get
dial.
them, we could do that. Otherwise, we can call Cito to come pull your boat, give them a ride home, and then you can pay to get it out of the Cito impound lot.
Just as far as when they get to jail, I mean, are we doing a?
Why can't one of the other adults drive the boat?
We can't do that field. We don't have that.
No, yeah, absolutely not. Not admissible by the state of Florida. Defense attorneys have gotten way too good with that and said that that's not good enough. So we have to take everybody to the jail now. So yeah, that's due to defense attorneys being good at their job.
This cop obviously has a problem.
Yeah, I'm an impairment task force member, so I've done a lot of these. I've done a lot of extensive training. With
And
this.
you've probably
This is
arrested a
kind
lot of
of
people
my
falsely.
specialty with the agency. So again, I have to go with my best judgment for right now. This is
And
that.
your judgment is
Thank
terrible.
you so much, though.
No. Sit down.
Yeah, don't
If
stand
you
up
could
on a
take them,
moving
that'd
boat.
be great.
Do not pull away from me like that, brother. Don't do that again. You understand me? Oh, thank you.
How do you get my wife a courtesy?
I can give her a phone call on my state. So. Yes, sir. Hey. Let me go do my job.
So the officer was sure to mute this part of the video because it appears like Lieutenant Hankinson has called him 3 times, which we will later find out is due to his major contacting him regarding this arrest of a high-profile man. Officer Stiltner stays on the phone with this lieutenant for 5 minutes, and it's times like these I really hate the mute button.
So
Yeah, no, they should not be allowed to mute.
Like
Okay, so apparently these people are insanely well connected because before they've even gotten back to the dock, this cop is getting a call from his higher ups saying, "What the hell are you doing? Do you have any idea who you just arrested and how wrong you are?" That's what this cop is being told right now. And again, they should not be allowed to mute their body cams. If you need to mute, like, personal information after, you do that after. There should not be a mute button on the body cam. When you're at work, if you need to say something that you don't want your bosses to know about, you shouldn't be saying it. And when you're talking to your boss, yeah, that should be recorded. About the arrest you just falsely made, yeah.
private equity, you said? Something like that?
Yeah, like I mean, private equity company. I'm on the board of Blue Cross and Blue Shield. started a church, so it's
He founded
it's
a church.
It's like, you could have paid me $1 billion to do drugs.
This
And
has
that's
to
the
have made
thing.
the
We just
local
have to go
papers.
based off what we see,
Yeah.
and then that's what like you'll be able to provide the.
No, I get it.
But we're gonna help you stand up, okay? Then I'm gonna come up here and we're gonna make sure you get up here without falling. All right?
I called you about being with me.
Oh yeah. You got some friends in high places, buddy. The major was calling my lieutenant to see what was going on.
And did your lieutenant tell you you're an idiot?
Well, yeah. They trust our training, you know. They just wanted
No,
to be
they
briefed
don't.
on the situation, basically. Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of impairment factors that go into play when we do what we do. So all those field sobriety tasks that I've got.
I'm sorry, does the thing hanging from the rear view mirror say sex wax?
100 times, 100 plus times, and those are fairly accurate.
No, they're
it
not.
doesn't have to do with any one particular thing. It's impairment beyond normal faculties, right? That's how it's written in the state statute. Well, normal faculties could be.
Like, honest to God, I think this cop is trying to convince this guy that he really is impaired somehow. But I think at this point, this cop knows he's screwed up. He knows he's in trouble. He's already getting phone calls. He knows he has screwed up Royale here. So all he's doing right now is trying to cover his ass and trying to convince this guy, oh, you really failed them, so what else could I do? So, like, don't have your extremely powerful friends end my career, which I hope that they did. And no, I'm not for connections or pulling strings or nepotism or favors for friends, but this is a case of false arrest. The cop deserves whatever consequences he got. And again, all the more so because he's supposedly a trained field sobriety officer or whatever they called it, which I've never heard of. So you have extra training to make you good at this, and you're still this terrible at this?
Sleep deprivation or something along those lines, right? It's totally objective, so to speak, right?
Yep.
It has to do with, all of the different indicators that we look at.
Like the cop is explaining why these tests
impaired?
are a joke.
And that's typically what we're looking for. And that's
because
what
it
we're
is
trying to make our
completely
decision
objective.
based off of. I hope you're not, but I think you are.
But he wasn't. The body cam video ends here, but I'm gonna read you guys the report. The man gladly provided breath samples, which were all zeros. Officer Stiltner went as far as requesting his urine, which also came back clean. And check this out. The man also consented to be evaluated by a DRE, drug recognition expert, which only solidified the man's lack of impairment and this officer's big mistake. And the charges were likely dropped because I can't find any court records anywhere regarding this incident. The sad truth
I'm
is
sure they
this
were.
happens to other people that aren't as well connected as this man. What's troubling to me is when Officer Stiltner asked if he would be in big trouble for making this mistake, he basically laughed it off, and it makes me sick. Although Officer Stiltner may not be held accountable by his department, I can only hope that his fellow officers and general public see this video. If you guys like today's video, be sure to hit that like button. If you aren't subscribed, I'd love to have you on the team. And of course, let me know what you guys think about this video in the comments.
Okay. I really wish we had an outcome on the cop. I kind of want to Google it. Yeah, let me actually do that because I bet this made the local papers. It has to have. I was right. Okay, thanks to this video, which apparently went viral, I didn't know that, there is follow-up. One, the cop is named Jared Stiltner. Florida FWC cop goes viral, mocked by netizens over false arrest. Disgusting arrest by officer. These are only like 4 or 5 days old. Under fire for wrongful boating arrest. Let's see. Commissioned FWC officer Jared Stiltner is under public scrutiny following a wrongful arrest during a routine boating safety inspection. The incident took place August 21st of this year, involving him out with his friends, blah, blah, blah. Despite the field sobriety test indicating no signs of impairment, the officer proceeded with the arrest. The body cam footage shared online by the Donnie Rapture YouTube channel, shout out, captured the distressing scene showing the man being detained in front of his family. Wrongfully denying, this is in quotes, wrongfully denying someone their God-given liberties is a serious offense. What happened to this man is abhorrent and a clear miscarriage of justice, and in front of his wife and children. Is Officer Stiltner still with the FWC. Is this the first time he's arrested someone? This was apparently a question that was left for them. I don't think that they've answered that, but I highly, highly, highly doubt this is the first time this cop has committed false arrest. I would be absolutely shocked if it was. I think he does this kind of power tripping garbage all the time. The arrest report detailed the stop, highlighted the vessel's approach to a slow-speed minimum wake zone. Critics, however, argue that the arrest lacked probable cause. The victim has since vowed to fight for justice, citing humiliation and wrongful treatment. In response to public outcry, a request under Florida's Sunshine Law has been filed to review Officer Stiltner's record. While the state has acknowledged the request, the timeline for disclosure remains uncertain. So that seems to say that in Florida, you can request a cop's history, basically. I think they're like saying like his history with the department. Has he been disciplined before? Has he made a false arrest before? Has he ever faced consequences or made a mistake? Because he claimed on the video, I've never made a mistake. Is that true? We're gonna find out. I'm gonna keep with this one. This is also one we're gonna follow up on because I want to know. I very much want to know about this. But that is going to do it. We're going to have to wait and see. What are your thoughts on this? How would you have handled it if you're this guy or you're the wife? How would you have handled it? Would you have done the field sobriety test? Do you think you could pass them? Like I could not. What do you think of field sobriety tests in general? And what do you think should happen to this cop? And I don't mean, again, I only mean the cop should be punished for what he did wrong and for the way he handled it. There should be no like additional consequences because he arrested like a rich, connected, powerful person. That shouldn't factor in. I live in the real world, of course it does, but it shouldn't. But the cop is wrong. He falsely arrested someone. He lied on a police report. He fabricated probable cause, and he walked up there with the biggest chip on his shoulder, clearly intending to flex his power for no reason. Like the guy himself called it out. He saw exactly what was happening, and he was right. So again, I'm sure he's got a very good lawyer. I hope he sues the department. They deserve it. And if that is how your field sobriety officers are trained, wow. I can only imagine how bad the ones who aren't trained are. But I have been Insane Lane as well as a Canadian girl, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye bye.